to? Awesome, y'all got really good at that. All right, we are super excited to share the music that we have been working on this year. These are the pieces that we took to contest this year. Something that all of our students collectively have worked very hard on. Today, for LC 7 and 8 Orchestra, we have our guest conductor, Adriano. And today, 7 and 8 will be presenting to you The Mask.
Mustangs. This is the LC 11 and 12 band. And what we're going to be playing for you this morning is a piece called Ancient Moon.
Clap My Hands. And we are not only accompanied by Mrs. Cox, but we are also accompanied by some of our fantastic percussionists here at Mitchell. Just make sure that Mr. McQueen can see. So this is our first piece called I Will Clap My Hands.
All right, sixth grade. Thank you, Mustang Choir. That was great. The next thing we're going to do is something that we only get to do at the spring showcase, which is really exciting for me, and for our music class. If you are a sixth grader sitting in this room who got to learn the ukulele this school year, raise your hand. Including you. Yeah. So something very unique to sixth grade at Mitchell when we're in general music is we get to learn the ukulele in the spring. So I wish I could have every single one of you sitting up here and playing with us, but this is LC7. We are going to play with the Mustang Choir, and we're going to do a song called Best Day of My Life.
Good morning again. My name is Mr. Gomez. I'm the other orchestra director here at Mitchell. This is the LC 9 and 10 Orchestra. We're going to be playing a piece called Legacy. Okay, and we want to dedicate this piece to you all sixth graders because this is your last year here with us at Mitchell. Okay, you're moving on to your next phase of life. You're going on to now 7th grade, and it can be scary. Change can be scary, but always know that you are always a Mitchell Mustang, and as a Mitchell Mustang, you carry a legacy with you. Okay, so just never forget that. So the piece we're about to perform for you is called Legacy.
We're going to continue the concert. This is the LC 7 and 8 band. And we just needed to play a little warm-up note to get our air moving through our instruments. But we're going to be performing a really interesting song called Frogs. And we want you to listen to all the imagery in there. There's a lot of frog sounds, a lot of bug sounds. See if you can find all the cool stuff that's going on in there. Okay, so this is called Frogs with LC 7 and 8.
going to be accompanied also by Mrs. Hicks. So this song is called Shenandoah. It is a very famous American folk song about a river, but the river is really a metaphor for life and for relationships and how we grow, we make friends, and oftentimes we are bound to leave one another to go to our very next station in life. Much as we are getting ready to do as sixth graders, bound to leave Mitchell to become Highlanders. So, Ms. Adcock, please lead us in Shenandoah. While we're waiting for our percussionists to come up and set up, I wanted to let you know that our Mustang Choir recently competed against a lot of other sixth grade choirs and got superior ratings, which is the highest that they could achieve. And the choir that you're hearing right now, after a 2-day contest of over 1,800 students singing, was crowned the grand champion of the entire 2-day festival, and that includes competing against some junior high choirs. So we're very, very proud of these students that are 5th and 6th graders for their incredible dedication to the art of singing. We're now going to do something completely different. It's a piece called Gatatumba. Everyone say Gatatumba. Nice. Gatatumba is a wonderful piece that features more of our percussion. It is a piece that features a very specific dialect of Spanish from the Andalusian islands just off the coast of Spain.
hope you guys are enjoying all the beautiful music that has been played today. It is truly a pleasure to be able to share the things that we work on with you. This group and this piece in particular, I think I say it every semester, I love this piece, but I think I love them all. This one is called Dance Scenario, and in this particular piece, you'll hear lots of advanced techniques like chords and double stops and different things that are very tricky for this particular grade level. It's something that really examples the challenges of sixth grade and moving on. But as you'll hear, with challenges comes great rewards. For us, it's in the form of beautiful music. But as you go through life, the best things in life might be a challenge, and they're challenges worth working for.
All right, so this is the LC 910 band, and they are going to play a piece called Too Much Percussion. And it's kind of a fun piece. Now, we're going to make this a little bit interactive. There's some audience participation. So I want you to say this after me. There's too much percussion in here, like this. Ready? It's going to go 3, 4, 1. There's too much percussion in here. Now, you get to say that one time at the very end. So I'll turn around and I'll go 3, 4, 1. 1. And then band help us with that, okay? All right? Yeah? So we all get to say it at the very end. All right? All right, here we go.
You guys have been a fantastic audience this morning. Our last piece for orchestra is with our chamber orchestra. This is a piece that they took to the Ann Roberts Festival, which is a festival for strings where we competed against junior high orchestras and got a superior rating, which is also the top rating that they could get. We are so proud of them and their hard work. The piece that they will be playing is called Battle of the Bows. So you'll be able to hear the melodies that pass from each section. The really cool thing about this piece for them this year is that when we took it to contest, one of our judges is really good friends with the composer Chris Thomas. So while we were competing, he was taking pictures and recordings of our orchestra to send to the composer, where we got lots of good feedback and recognition, which is not super common for this age level. So we are super, super proud that we can not only share this music with you, but that we were able to share this music with the composer of this piece. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy Battle of the Bows.
so we are about to play some wind ensemble music. This is the wind ensemble. This is made up of all 6 LCs, and they auditioned for this, and they're playing some really advanced music. The music they're playing would be a junior high contest level that they're doing right now, and they did a really great job this year. We went to a contest, and they received superior ratings and got a giant trophy and did lots of cool things. So we're super proud of them, and we can't wait to share. This first piece is called Nebula, and it's like a space sci-fi movie soundtrack kind of. You'll hear a big arrival, maybe of a big spaceship, and then lots of kind of nebulous things that happen. There's not a lot of form and structure to some of the piece. All right, then the second piece they're going to play is a Turkish piece called Byzantine Dances. It has a lot of really cool sounds in it, and dance music, and lots of solos. All right, so here we go. Here's Nebula.
wanted to point out our two soloists real quick, Jacob Rice on clarinet and Minami on alto sax.
So we've got people from all walks of life here representing our school. And it is a tradition for us at this time of year to sing one final song called Go With a Song in Your Heart. It's a song that is kind of a benediction of sorts to all of our sixth graders saying, go to McCullough, go out, take your life by the horns, and go with a song in your heart.